Many American people have been watching, and they have expressed concerns about your age.
That is your judgment. That is your judgment. That is not the judgment of the press.
Oh my God, he's yelling at reporters individually about how he's not old.
Mr. President,
About their look into my handling of classified documents. I was pleased to see he reached a firm conclusion that no charges should be brought against me in this case. This was an exhaustive investigation going back more than 40 years, even into the 1970s when I was still a new United States Senator. The special counsel acknowledged I cooperated completely. I did not throw up any roadblocks. I sought no delays. In fact, I was so determined to give the special counsel what he needed, I went forward with a 5-hour in-person interview over 2 days on October the 8th and 9th of last year, even though Israel had just been attacked by Hamas on the 7th and I was very occupied. It was in the middle of handling an international crisis. I was especially pleased to see special counsel make clear the stark distinction and difference between this case and Mr. Trump's case. The special counsel wrote, and I quote, "Several material distinctions between Mr. Trump's case and Mr. Biden's are clear," continuing to quote, "most notably, after given multiple chances to return classified documents,
will he talk about the part where they say he's like decrepit?
Mr. Trump allegedly did the opposite. According to the indictment, he not only refused to return the documents
they called me
for many
senile,
months,
Jack.
he also obstructed justice by enlisting others to destroy evidence and then to lie about it. In contrast, he went on to say Mr. Biden turned in classified documents to the National Archives and the Department of Justice, consented to the search of multiple locations, including his home, sat for a voluntary interview, and in other ways cooperated with the investigation," end of quote. I've seen the headlines since the report was released about my willful retention of documents. These assertions are not only misleading, they're just plain wrong. On page 215, if you had a chance, I know it's a thick document. On page 215, the report of the special counsel found the exact opposite. Here's what he wrote. "There is in fact a shortage of evidence that I willfully retained classified materials related to Afghanistan." On page 12, the special counsel also wrote, for another documents, "The decision to decline criminal charges was straightforward. The evidence suggests that Mr. Biden did not willfully retain these documents."
Will he talk about how they think he's senile?
I did not willfully retain these documents.
Will they talk about how he's senile?
I know there's some attention paid to some language in the report about my recollection of events. There's even reference that I don't remember when my son died. How in the hell dare he raise that?
Oh, he's
Frankly,
mad.
when I was asked the question, I thought to myself, it wasn't any of their damn business. Let me tell you something. Some of you have commented, I wear since the day he died, every single day, the rosary he got from Our Lady of... Every Memorial Day we hold a service remembering him, attended by friends and family and the people who loved him. I don't need anyone to remind me when he passed away or if he passed away. Simple truth is I sat for a 5-hour interview over 2 days of events going back 40 years. At the same time I was managing an international crisis, their task was to make a decision about whether to move forward with charges in this case. That was their decision to make. That's the counsel's decision to make. That's his job. And they decided not to move forward. For any extraneous commentary, they don't know what they're talking about. It has no place in this report. The bottom line is the matter is now closed. I'm going to continue what I've always focused on, my job of being President of the United States of America. Now, thank you, and I'll take some questions.
President Biden, something the special counsel said in his report is that one of the reasons you were not charged is because, in his description, you are a well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory.
I'm well-meaning, and I'm an elderly man, and I know what the hell I'm doing. I've been president, and I put this country back on its feet. I don't need his recommendation. It's totally out.
How bad is your memory, and can you continue as president?
My memory is so bad I let you speak. That's
your memory has gotten worse, Mr. President?
My memory is not good. My memory is fine. My memory, take a look at what I've done since I become president. None of you thought I could pass any of the things I got passed. How'd that happen? You know, I guess I just forgot what was going on.
Mr. President.
This is not.
Concerns about your age. How are you going to assuage them? And do you fear that this report is only going
This
to
is kind of a
fuel
wild
further
thing for him to do. He's being a
Only by
wild
some of
card.
them.
Mr. President.
Clear up criminal liability today. Do you take responsibility?
Bro, this is
for
like what I tell people all the time. Don't feed the trolls. He's feeding the trolls.
I take responsibility for not having seen exactly what my staff was doing. It goes in and points out things that appeared in my garage, things that came out of my home, things that were moved not by me but my staff.
Mr. President, for months when you were asked about your age, you would respond with the words, "Watch me." Many American people have been watching, and they have expressed concerns about your age.
That is your judgment. That is your judgment. That is not the judgment of the press.
Oh my God, he's yelling at reporters individually about how he's not old.
Mr. President, in December, you told me that you believe there are many other Democrats who could defeat Donald Trump. So why does it have to be you now? What is your answer
Because
to
I'm the
that
most
question?
qualified person in this country to be president of the United States and finish the job I started.
Do you believe that, guys? Why are you confusing the names of world leaders?
Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much.
I did not share classified information. I did not share it.
with your ghostwriter?
With my ghostwriter, I did
Bro,
not.
what is he
Guaranteed did
doing?
not.
Dude, Dark Brandon
No, I did
unleashed.
not say that.
Bro, this is like when I start yelling at all my fucking haters and pull them up to
Let me answer
debate
your
them.
question. The fact of the matter is, what I didn't want repeated, I didn't want him to know, and I didn't read it to him, was I had written a long memorandum to President Obama why we should not be in Afghanistan. And I was of this multiple pages. And so what I was referring to, I said classified. I should have said it should be private because it was a contact between the president and the vice president as to what was going on. That's what it is referring to. It was not classified information in that document. That was not classified.
He's going nutty. He's doing it. The mad lad is doing it.
He called on me. When you look back at this incident, is there anything you would do differently now? And do you think that a special prosecutor should have been appointed in the first place in both of these cases?
First of all, what I would have done is oversee the transfer of the material that was in my office, in my offices. I should have done that. If I go back, I didn't have the responsibility to that. That was my staff was supposed to do that, and they referenced that in the report. And my staff did not do it in the way that, for example, I didn't know how half the boxes got in my garage until I found out staff gathered them up, put them together, and took them to the garage in my home. And all the stuff that was in my home was in filing cabinets that were either locked or able to be locked. It was in my house. It wasn't out in, like in Mar-a-Lago, in a public place where, and none of it was high classified. Didn't have any of that red stuff on it. You know
If
what
he
I
had a
mean, around the
stroke
corner?
right now, this would dramatically
And so
change
I
everything.
wish I had paid
Due
more
to the
attention to how the documents were
medical
being moved
grade
and where.
cocaine that he
I
has
thought they were
coursing
being
through his
moved to the
veins.
archives. I thought all of it was being moved. That's what I thought. Now, what was the last part of your question?
Whether a special counsel should have been appointed in this case and in the case of your rival president, former
I
president.
think a special counsel should have been appointed. And the reason I think a special counsel should have been appointed is because I did not want to be in a position that they looked at Trump and weren't going to look at me, just like they looked at the vice president. And the fact is they made a firm conclusion. I did not break the law, period. Thank you all very, very much.
Despite Trump's classified documents case being very different from this case on Biden, Trump is still making claims that there is a two-tier justice system and he is still trying to attack Biden on this issue. In Biden's case, Biden's team fully cooperated with National Archives officials, unlike the case on Trump in which federal prosecutors have accused Trump of deliberately withholding records he knew to be classified from investigation with the National Archives. Even the special counsel report says that Trump had multiple chances to return highly classified documents, but he did not do that. Many Democrats are extremely angry after this report came out because this report states that Biden is an elderly man, and it provides even more ammo for Donald Trump, Republicans, and conservatives to attack Joe Biden. The special counsel, Robert Hur, was Donald Trump appointed U.S. Attorney for Maryland. And Democrats are now claiming that he could not refrain himself from making investigation excess.
Oh, dude. Oh, my God. The media is going to eat him, dude.
The hostage negotiation, look.
Oh, he's back. He's back for more. Oh, he said, I got that dog in me.
I'm
One
of the
more.
view, as you know, that the conduct of the response in Gaza, in the Gaza Strip,
Oh, no.
has been over the top. I think
What?
that, as you know, initially, the president of Mexico, Sisi, did not want to open up the gate to allow
Sisi, president of
humanitarian
Mexico? That's
material to get
Egypt,
in.
dog.
I talked to him. I convinced him to open the gate. I
Ah!
talked to Bibi to open the gate on the Israeli side. I've been pushing really hard to get humanitarian assistance into Gaza. There are a lot of innocent people who are starving, a lot of innocent people who are in trouble and dying, and it's got to stop, number one. Number two, I was also in a position that I'm the guy that made the case that we have to do much more to increase the amount of material going in, including fuel, including other items. I've been on the phone with the Qataris, I've been on the phone with the Egyptians, I've been on the phone with the Saudis to get as much aid as we possibly can into Gaza. There are innocent people, innocent women and children who are also in badly in need of help. And so that's what we're pushing. And I'm pushing very hard now to deal with this hostage ceasefire because, I've been working tirelessly in this deal. How can I say this without revealing it? To lead to a sustained pause in the fighting, in the actions taking place in the Gaza Strip. And because I think if we could get the delay for that, the initial delay, I think that we would be able to extend that so that we could increase the prospect that this fighting in Gaza changes. There's also negotiations. You may recall, in the very beginning, right before Hamas attacked, I was in contact with the Saudis and others to work out a deal where they would recognize Israel's right to exist, make them part of the Middle East, recognize them fully in return for certain things that the United States would commit to do. And the commitment that we were proposing to do related to two items. I'm not going to go in detail, but one of them was to deal with the protection against their arch enemy to the northwest, northeast, I should say. The second one, by providing ammunition and material for them to defend themselves. Coincidentally, that's the time frame when this broke out. I have no proof what I'm about to say, but it's not unreasonable to suspect that the Hamas understood what was about to take place and wanted to break it up before it happened.
Wait, what?
Thank you, everybody. We're going to need everybody to hold for a moment.
Okay, couple notes. Actually not bad. At first I was going to say, I'm going to give Biden high marks on this. Controversial. Two things. One, definitely more aggressive in his stance against Israel. Probably the first time that he's actually been a little bit more aggressive against Israel. Most likely because they, are you high? No, listen, molten hot take. I'm not joking at all. Okay. Way better than I thought it was going to be. Partially because yelling at reporters oftentimes will play very well with the American population that also fucking hates the media for understandable reasons.
Willfully retain classified documents.
However, he did openly fucking say, I never gave classified information up. He pulled a Trumpian ass move. Okay. He pulled a Trumpian ass move. He did some Trump shit. Okay. Saying like, one, I didn't fucking reveal or leak classified information. He had one major flub where he said the Mexican president Sisi when he was talking about Egypt. That part is not good, 100%. He keeps fucking doing stuff like that. I'm shocked that he didn't do more of it, to be honest. But him yelling at reporters could actually play well. It could actually play well. He looked more dynamic than he ever has in months, okay? He looked more dynamic than he ever has in fucking months. Now, he still looks old as hell, obviously up there. But I don't know. I think that him yelling at reporters might play well. However, it might also backfire on him because I think that, like, when you engage with the media in that way, they're going to fucking keep digging. They're going to dig their heels in and they're going to start going crazy mode over, like, why did Biden say this? Is Biden turning into Trump? That sort of shit. It's like when people who are dying get one last burst of energy before they croak. He had the smoke for the first like 5 minutes and it clearly wore off. Wild how it was like a switch. Yeah. It's crazy when you see him like off script, when he like goes back for the second and you can just see his like synapses no longer are firing. That part is awful. But the first yelling part, depending on like how much they cover, depending on what they cover and what they choose to pay attention to, I don't know. Him yelling at fucking reporters, it's not a bad look. Especially when your major point, when your major propaganda against you, like your biggest weakness is how not dynamic you are and how fucking old you are. Okay? Yelling at reporters can play really well, but not when it's about your senility in a conversation where you also display your senility. Just because you like yelling doesn't mean it will play well. No, the people fucking hate the media. So, and the people don't expect Biden to ever like pull out some non-civil shit. Shaming their media about like his son, like, or shaming the special prosecutor about his son thing is a really solid way, in my opinion, to fucking neuter that conversation, even though it was bullshit. Okay. If I'm being for real, I think being like, oh yeah, I forgot my son's death. How dare you? It's a good way to try and basically dive on that grenade and just completely neutralize it. Even though it's fucking bullshit, okay? Yes, he 100% is demented. So that's something that you also have to consider. But I do think that yeah, I think that overall, like when he came back, it was really interesting. The second time when he came back, like his brain was like obviously short circuiting.
Biden's age is indeed a very big issue for him. In this video too, Biden tried to push back heavily on the idea that he is too old and his memory is faded. Unlike the other top issues concerning voter in the 2024 election like immigration, Israel-Gaza war, in which Biden can somewhat change his stances, US economy is improving and many are predicting that economy will improve more in the upcoming months. But in the other top issue for voters, saying that they are concerned about Biden's age, there's not a lot of things that Biden can do on this issue. He cannot become younger. This can also cause a lot of issues when he's facing Donald Trump in the presidential debates. Although Trump is 77 and Biden is 81, Biden being only 4 years older than Trump, a lot more people are concerned over Biden's age than Trump's. In a recent poll conducted by NBC News, 34% of voters said that they had major concern over Trump not having the necessary mental and physical health to be the president, while that number was 62% for Joe Biden. So this is the reason why after the special counsel report said that Joe Biden is an elderly man and contained many comments on Biden's age, Biden's team and many Democrats were very angry on this, and this provided more ammo for Trump and other Republicans to attack him. In that poll, 51% of voters said that they were concerned about Donald Trump's facing 4 different criminal and civil trials for allegedly wrongdoing, including multiple felony charges related to attempts to overturn the 2020 election. 44% said that they had major concerns over Joe Biden's possible awareness or involvement in the business dealings of his son, Hunter Biden, including alleged financial wrongdoings and corruption. If you enjoyed this video, then make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to this channel for more videos like this. And thanks for watching.